So guys, all right, daily outlook for today. We'll start it off with a Euro USD. Cool. All right. So similar position to yesterday. Been working out quite well in terms of the analysis. So obviously reacting out of that decisional area, pushed us up into the decisional of that 15-minute externally bearish break. Obviously getting that sell off from where we are just now. So I would like to keep following with this bearish momentum that we've got here. Very well has strong probability to come and take out the low. Now, understanding the significance of this point, we can still come up higher inside of this leg, depending on what obviously this area wants to do. So what I'm looking for today, you've got that internal break. We've got the decisional area here, which is rubbish. It didn't take any liquidity, so I don't expect it to hold. If this area is going to be a smart money trap, I'm looking for it to come up, take this point here, which is retest of that internal break, also the 50% of Asia, get that sell off. I'm happy to then sell from there. Other side of this point being a decisional of the first internal break that created the complex pullback. If we induce the decisional, I'm happy to then buy up, targeting all that liquidity. It's obviously the low outside of Asia low as well, so it does classify as a medium inducement. So really EU is quite simple, buying from here, selling from here. If I'm selling from here, I'm not going to be too interested in buying from here. Can set up though, just not preferred. However, if we do buy from here, we definitely can look to sell from here as it follows that external range. So sitting in a good spot from that sense. We've got both options. Just need to see which side to push us to first and which one of them is going to play out. Now, a GU reacting from that bigger demand area as well, decision of the 4-hour break. Now, GU has only induced what we could see is as retest. However, this whole leg here is also retest of the hourly. So it's got a lot of targets that it can come up to. It definitely hasn't completed that structure cycle like EU has. So GU can definitely push up much, much higher. And it is generating some nice liquidity running across here as well. Similar setup to EU where GU is reacting out of a decisional. However, GU, I do like the fact that we had an actual inducement in the decisional. So I do see it as valid to hold. We've now induced inside of it with this little push to the upside, mitigation and inducement low. Now, this push high and break low could be confirming this area as a smart money trap. However, it is very, very valid to hold, and it has obviously medium induced with the low outside of Asia. If we can pull up here, mitigate this area, which is pretty rubbish. If we understand this as an internal range, this point here didn't sweep into liquidity. That's your decisional, and you've got an extreme up here. This point shouldn't hold. It doesn't really hold any weight. It's a small demand to supply, but it didn't sweep into liquidity, so I don't expect it to hold. So I'd be happy to buy through this area, understanding that this point can hold. However, also understanding that this point may not hold based on this and this. We can buy from down here, but we can also sell off of the inducement of this area and mitigation of this area. It's at 50% of Asia, so this is a medium inducement. So I'm happy to sell off of the sweep of that as well. So again, same as EU, got a couple of different options. Moving across to AU. AU's in a really interesting spot, caught between potential smart money traps on both sides. So reacting out of the decisional, we've pulled up, induced a retest of the first break that created a complex pullback, getting good sell off from there. Got to remember as well, like I explained every day at the moment, we are reacting out of a weekly supply. Price can dance around for ages here before deciding what it wants to do, and it very well can come down and induce that low before pushing up. So we just got to be patient with it and understand that we can play both sides of the market a little bit right now, which is cool. So not looking for this area to hold. In my opinion, if this area isn't going to hold, it'll need to induce something of significance, which would at the very least be that high, which is the high that induced an internal decisional and led to a break of structure. So it is a valid high. However, if this area is going to hold, we'll drive up through where we are. So I'm open to treating this as a smart money trap and this as a smart money trap. I'm happy to play, obviously the sides of it. So I'm happy to buy through this, but using this point to buy through this area. When we induce this though, I'm very open to selling. What we've got just now is some 5-minute structure starting to form. So we've got a 5-minute break, come down, mitigated this area. I'm ideally looking for this to actually work as internal retest. It's very filled down inside of here, so it may just run where it is, and it's so valid too. It may have actually already given an entry. Let me have a look. This is hard because it's all. Oh, this may have already given an entry. I may have missed an entry here while I'm looking at the other pairs. Oh my God. Ugh. No, there is no entry there for me. Yuck. Yuck. Its structure is horrible. What is that? Yeah, this is going to just push through where it is more than likely, unfortunately. Yeah. Glad I didn't miss an entry. But yeah, so what's happened is we've induced the decisional break to the upside, second break. Yeah, to be honest, that was probably valid to set. You would have set it off of that. Yeah. Wow. I wonder if that would have got tagged. Oh, you would have too. Oh, that's cheeky. Ah, that sucks. Well, that's a valid entry. There you go. Sweet, cool. That sucks. That's frustrating. Sweet. Yeah. So what I'm really looking for now on AU is the inducement of this high, and then I'm open to selling it, but that can run. Um, yeah, you haven't really got a medium inducement for the trade, so I'd just be running 4-1 to 3. See if it gets there. Sweet, easy guys. That's annoying. All good, no stress. Part of the parcel. When would you have gotten? Yeah. Damn. All right, cool. That's a mistrade. That's annoying. Sweet. Cool. If we do come back down here as well, if this point does work to be a smart money trap, we can buy for the inducement of this low. Decisional inducement, so it's valid medium inducement. But yeah, sweet. These guys, if anyone's got any questions on this entry, let me know. But otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up there and I'll speak to you all soon.